This year I got to visit the Windup New York event that happened here in October. It's kind of a yearly Christmas for me in October because I get to see a whole bunch of watches hands-on. Also at the same time, Windup is going on, so there's a lot happening in New York and it's a lot of fun. There were a lot of watches to see, but one of my favorite watches, especially out of the micro brand space, was from a brand called Neutra. Now, they've been around for a very long time. They're an Italian brand. However, the watch that they came out with was sort of out of left field. I never expected them to do something like this. It's a tank. It's made out of grade 5 titanium. It definitely gets their look, their design DNA. When you see the watch, you know who made the watch, as long as you know who the brand is. But it was something completely unexpected. I know tank watches are really having a moment right now, but they did something very different with this, and I am very impressed. I do have one hands-on to show you guys. It's the gray dial variant. So let's take a look at the latest release from Neutra, the Rivanera. I really do mean it when I say that this is better looking than most Cartier currently offered. I sometimes think Cartier are a little bit overrated, but when you think about tank watches, they make some of the best tank watches out there. And this watch probably takes inspiration from one of those watches. But what they've done here is put their own twist on it. Neutra put their own colorway, their color palette against a tank like this, and it looks amazing. This is in grade 5 titanium, and it's media blasted. There's some lines of polish on either side of the case, but that's almost like a step in the case. So it's not a polished edge, it's more part of the case itself. You're getting some Art Deco vibes from the dial. This is the gray dial version, matches the case so well. And then you have a black strap. You have a flat sapphire crystal on here with beveled edges. So it looks really good. And again, it adds to that Art Deco flair of this watch. Then of course you have a rectangular case, and that has very short lugs. When you turn it on its side, you can see the strap fits very nicely into the case. It's not inside the case because the lugs are very, very short, just a few millimeters, but you can see that beautiful line of polish. And that is not an edge. Like I was saying, it's just a step in the side of the case or in the top of the case, depending on how you look at it. But it's polished on this side. So when you're looking at it from the side, there's a polished edge there. And then when you flip it over, there's a polished edge on the top of the case. And that follows the lugs as well. So there's almost a valley of polish in this grade 5 titanium case. A really good idea. It's a modern take on a tank. However, again, it looks somewhat vintage because of that Art Deco dial, that slate gray dial with, by the way, a small seconds, which I absolutely love. And this is a very thin watch at 5.9 millimeters thick. That's including that sapphire crystal. You get a 40 millimeter lug to lug, and the case is around 27 millimeters according to my calipers. I measured just a hair under 27 millimeters. It was 26.9 millimeters, somewhere in that range. Flipping it over, you have another sapphire crystal, and you can see the movement from the back, and it's a beautiful movement. The ETA 7001. Hand wound, it has blued screws, it's decorated, gorgeous case back. It's a flat case back with screws, as you can see here at the corners just by those lugs. You have that sub-seconds that is sunken down slightly from the rest of the dial. It has a circular pattern in there. Then of course you have applied indices. Those are sitting in a track around the dial. It's like a minute track, but it's elongated at the top and the bottom of the dial. And those applied indices are faceted. Of course, there is no loom here. You have a stick for the minutes hand, and then the hour hand has a little circle on it. It's a very stylized, very vintage looking hour hand. But overall, I would say this watch looks and feels modern. You get 30 meters of water resistance. You do have a push-pull crown and a screwed-in case back, but you do get 30 meters of water resistance and no loom because this is a dress watch. Speaking about water resistance and brand DNA, this is Maron Musi. This is a brand that no one knows about here in the United States. I'll be doing a video about this watch. It's a watch that I recently purchased. It's a little bit weird. There's a couple of little things wrong with it, but I'm going to make a video about it. This is an in-house independent watchmaker. They make all of their watches in Switzerland. They're 100% Swiss made. This is their GMT. It has a beautiful movement, 300 meters of water resistance with no gaskets. It's not a cheap watch, but a very, very, very interesting watch, and I'll make a video about this very soon. And there it is on my 7.5-inch wrist. Like I was saying before, this is a 27mm watch. With that being said, obviously it wears a lot bigger because it's a rectangular shape. It's a tank watch. You also have a 40mm lug to lug, 5.9mm on the thickness, and you can see it wears very, very thin to my 7.5-inch wrist. This is on a calf leather strap, I want to say. It's sort of a hard calf leather, so it does need to be worked in a little bit, and it's a little bit glossy. I would say it's like a satin finish. And then you have their buckle on here, which is basically media blasted and signed with the Echo Neutra logo, and that's it. Very nice, very bespoke buckle as well, matches the case very, very well. But on my 7.5-inch wrist, this watch wears perfectly. It's very comfortable and it looks so good. Price on this watch comes in at $1,495. I have to say, that is an excellent price. There is no brand out there offering something this cool. Major or micro brand, independent. I can name all the brands. There's nothing out there that looks like this. And this was wildly popular at Windup for a very good reason, a Windup Watch Fair here in New York City, because look at it. It's just completely different. If you're looking for something very different that is affordable, under $1,500, I mean, it's not cheap, but you are getting a Swiss-made watch with a hand-wound 7001 inside, and it's made out of grade 5 titanium. It looks like nothing else out there. That is actually a very good price, and it's a very good looking watch in my opinion. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you think of the look of this watch? What do you think of the styling, the colors, the choices that they made here? I especially love that line of polish on either side of the case. Something that I have not seen done before. It's sort of a valley. It's a 95-degree angle. I think that's what it would be. A 95-degree angle of polish, which is pretty interesting. I've not seen that. And then you have that beveled sapphire crystal, which adds another layer to this watch, another look, another angle. I really love it. I think this is a phenomenal design, and I really do tip my hat to them. This is something that I think is going to be a big hit for them. I cannot imagine it will not, because it's just really good looking. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. I will put a link to this watch down in the description below if you are interested in it. Definitely check out the link. And that's really it, guys. Thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys in the next video.